Hi guys, Marty Nowicki coming to you from the Turning Stone Resort and Casino in Verona, New York. Got a couple ideas for you to work on this winter. Now that the snow is here, you can come to the Dome to hit some balls, but if you're stranded in your house and you've got golf on your mind, well, here are a couple things that you can work on. Grab a club or a yardstick or a dowel post or something along those lines, and you can practice both gripping it, and practice what we're going to chat about today is practice what your levers are going to be doing. In golf, we've got a number of levers, all right? We've got a left arm that's going to swing back and forth. We've got a left wrist that, as the arm is swinging, can cock and uncock. We've got a right arm that can load, or a trailing arm that can load and unload. Think of your harpoon action or throwing action. All right, and we've got a left arm that will also rotate. Okay, here are a couple ideas that you can do in your home. Just make sure that the stick is short enough so you're not whacking any ceiling fans or ceilings for that matter. You know, I would practice hinging and unhinging, or cocking and uncocking would be the proper terminology. Cocking and uncocking of the leading wrist. And when we're doing that, do that on some form of a plane. That would be an excellent exercise so you can see this. I'd encourage you to do this with a mirror around you so that you can see that the club isn't, you know, gyrating all over the place, that you're actually keeping it on some form of a plane. Ideally, if my ball sat on the ground and sat right on this line that I just created with these two sticks, that my object here, or my golf club, would point at those sticks. That line goes on for eternity, so I'd at one point be parallel to it, and then as I lift that, well, the other end now is parallel or pointing to those sticks, and that helps to create what we call a plane in golf, all right? So now I'd be swinging on some form of a plane just by virtue of pointing that at my target line, parallel to it, and then point the other end to it. And what I've just created is my leading hinge. All right? With both hands on, we point, we raise. And these are some simple things that you can do, even if you're not hitting a golf ball, that will help you maintain the form that you had, or create a better form for next year. All right, so I'm pointing it at my straight line. Now I'm starting to load. When we load, that's very similar to what a lacrosse player would do with a lacrosse stick. All right, the trailing arm pulls back. The leading arm, in golf at least, is going to straighten as the trailing arm pulls back. And what that does is that starts creating a cocking action here of the left wrist. All right. If I were to maintain that wrist cock and hit an object, you'll see I don't have to move my arm all that much, and I've got some power. If I wanted to draw that back, again, keep in mind those ceiling fans, pull, pull, let go. All right? We can create a nice little plane line, trace the plane line down, noting, and this is something I would encourage practicing. If you have access to a mirror, just take a strip of tape and put it up at an angle on the mirror, and just use that as a guide or a reference, so that as you're coming into the ball, you have some awareness for, okay, the club has to travel on some form of a plane. I'm going to be cocking and uncocking the whole way down, just to practice that, and then boom. Ultimately, when you do get to your object, so I've now loaded it up, I'm pulling it down. My hands actually have to get to the point where the ball would be before they start to really uncock. All right? That way, we'll be assuring ourselves that we'll hit the ground past the point of the ball, and we'll have some leverage over the club. If you think about our basic geometry that I've posted in some other videos, my lowercase letter y, well, that's no different than you using the broom that's in your kitchen to sweep the floor. All right? You can't go through life flicking dirt all over the floor, unless you have a defective broom, of course. So, a couple things, you know, cocking and uncocking the left wrist, loading and unloading the right arm. When we put those together, try and put that on some form of a plane. And you know, if you stood against the base of a wall and just pointed your stick to the base of the wall, At one point it'll be parallel to it, and then point the other end of the stick at the base of the wall, and you'll start creating a plane. Try and maintain those angles until you get past the point of the ball. So now that I'm past the point of the ball, now I can go ahead and uncock and put some energy out. Again, you don't need a lot of space to practice this in your home. And anything that you do regarding this, you know, keep a club in your hand, because you don't want to go too long without having the club in your hand. You don't want to really start from scratch and lose some of your abilities that you developed this year. I'm Marty Nowicki. Hope everyone has a great holiday season, and now is the time to start training for 2014. I look forward to seeing you soon, and I hope this video helps you. Have a great time.